Wi-Fi is all around us, at home, at work, and across our neighborhoods. So why are some saying it's making them sick? Voters are at the polls deciding on a referendum that could keep them afloat.
A handful of people had to be evacuated because of how quickly the waters rushed through here. It is waterlogged, the vehicle behind us.
We have seen an officer stop by this location to check out the structure behind us, and there's a good reason for that. You can actually see the fire that was part of this building start back up.
We break out the soccer ball. What I'm going to do is I'm going to kick it across the surface here, and you get an idea of how warped this pavement is. Do not leave your children inside cars. Do not leave your pets there as well. Fans flew in all the way from Los Angeles to get to tonight's game. The original start time, there's one right there, 7:05. But of course, Mother Nature had a different start time in mind.
The view is fantastic. The view is of downtown Chicago.
After the rush, a rush hour.
Yeah, always running around, always working through traffic.
Daisy Arashiba settles into his 2-bedroom, 1.5-bath apartment. The comic actor and musician calls this home and home office for,
What, 7 years?
but this year he discovered his nest
Was that a falcon?
expanded unexpectedly.
Well, I'm sure you know the Chicago Housing Authority's like, that's not a legal bedroom out there in the balcony.
Part of his 28th floor Lakeview apartment was taken over by a pair of squawky squatters.
When they get together, they become kind of the Bickersons. It's like, what are you doing? It's like, I've been flying around hunting things. What do you got? I got something. I just killed it. You want to eat some? Sure. You know.
Peregrine falcons are a bird of prey traditionally nesting in places like barren cliff faces.
And I happen to have empty window boxes because I'm a terrible gardener.
He branded the birds after famous musicians.
Steve and Linda, because Perry, Steve Perry and Linda Perry.
Eventually discovering his new neighbors made more than music.
And there are 4 chicks. There's Luke Perry, Katy Perry, Joe Perry, and because it's Chicago, Refrigerator Perry.
The birds are federally protected, so it is against the law to move the nest. Arashiba has limited access to his balcony for about another month. That's when this feathered family could say farewell.
Chicks that have been born here have ended up as far away as Ecuador.
For now, the hum of traffic is part of the lullaby for 4 newborns. The Windy City providing a perch and one man providing the rent for some temporary tenants.
So there they are. Unfortunately, I'm okay with it.
You could try to capture the tempo of this town. Attempt to take a photo
Strikingly beautiful.
of its heartbeat.
I'm looking for angles.
He usually gets, 50 to 100 pictures of him a day.
Yeah, it blew me away, actually.
But for all the pictures, beautiful or bizarre, one image stands out.
A dog walk itself on a leash.
Come on, let's go.
Oh my God. Oh, is he cute?
Like many golden retrievers, 9-year-old Sporty liked to carry something like a toy or ball in his mouth. But years ago, he instead began toting his own tether.
I insist on it. It's kind of a mutual thing.
His owner, David Duncan, adopted the former agility and championship show dog. Sporty has since taken his leash and his showmanship to the sidewalk as the city's unofficial fluffiest landmark.
He was in Chicago Magazine, he was in New York Mag.
You are an awesome dog.
He is a little bit of a local celebrity around here, yeah.
Duncan is quick to point out if anyone is uncomfortable with the retriever's reception, he's never too far away, and Sporty's strap goes back on.
No. No. You come on.
From 9 to 5, Duncan is an options trader.
I yell and scream all day.
Because of that, Sporty is as much a therapy dog for him as the canine is for all the strangers he greets.
He's everything. I don't know what I'd do without him. I really don't.
Bye, baby.
Or he spreads the love. He makes people happy, I just want to give him back, what he's given me.
A dog that walks to a different beat.
Oh my God, he's so cute.
Sporty may not own this river walk, but he's got a leash on it.
We're going to do this as long as he wants.
We were afraid how she was going to handle the flight.
A special passenger made her way into Chicago, the flight totaling more than 6,400 miles. The plane touching down.
Hi, baby!
Followed by a touching moment with rescue workers like Karen Biggie finally picking up a canine who's picked herself up
from unimaginable circumstances.
And her condition is one of the worst I've seen.
Lived the streets as a street dog.
She survived this long. She is just so resourceful.
It is hard at first to watch the canine. Abuse and neglect over her first year of life has permanently mangled her limbs. The shepherd mix, who once called war-torn Iraq home, somehow persevered. She has appropriately taken on the name Lucky.
It's probably one of the most heartwarming rescues I've ever done.
This video, shot back in January by a rescue worker in the region, made its way to Biggie's Operation Bring Animals Home.
It's going to be a big project.
Volunteer Helen Summerfield Brown helped organize the trip with thousands in donations and help from United and Turkish Airlines, making Lucky's 16-hour flight possible.
She's going to have a lot of medical care.
It's very emotional.
She's going to be a lot, but she's worth every cent.
A canine called and described as Lucky. Her journey to a loving home, making a stop in Chicago. With Chicago skyline as a backdrop,
he's looking for a meal.
some birds flock to a part of the South Side.
Oh, that's a great blue heron.
We'd like to call your attention to Dave Groover,
Excuse me. We got a bird up here
but his attention is on spotting a rare bird, one catching his eye and his camera before.
that is not an eagle.
Back in the spring, however, he captured bald eagles on video. Not just a few, he describes a family of young and old flying near a landfill.
But we're trying to keep them all in the picture.
His pictures show the 6 to 8 foot wingspan of the national bird. The U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service says since 2004, nests surfaced around Chicago. The state of Illinois adding more than 3,100 eagles visit during the winter, more than any other state outside Alaska.
You got the Big Calumet River here. You got Wolf Lake to the east.
Groover says they're drawn to the fish in nearby waters, and due to recent Southside development creating more open spaces, it is easier for them to spot and catch their prey from high above ground.
You know, it's very exciting to see eagles in Chicago proper.
A soaring feeling to capture on video and to see in person.
What a terrific thing we're getting here right now.